usually a couple.
He's a fat one. Ooh, look at you, baby. We in business now. What's up, folks? Welcome back. Recently, decided to jump in an ABL tournament on Altoona. The lake's chocolate milk in a lot of spots, and I hadn't been on it since last year, maybe the fall, September-ish, I'm not sure. Presents a good challenge. Gave me the idea for this video. Now, I'm not a hammer, nor a professional, obviously, but I do stand here and make these content videos, and failure is not an option at that point. I do need to at least, make a good showing, or try to. We took off, no clue, it was dark. They launched us at daylight. I couldn't tell you what color the water was. I know what temperature it was. Popular consensus: muddy, nasty water, fine, clean water. Throw crankbaits this time of year, right? They should be shallow, relatively. Well, the area of the lake that I chose to run to, that wasn't working. The water went from yoo-hoo, brown, green, clean. In the green and clean water, I didn't find anything. It didn't take very long to realize that this is not going to work. Which brings me to the point of this video. Kind of a muddy mentality. Maybe what we'll title it. Alright, at this point, the clock's ticking. We can either try to force feed fish that we can't see and just keep burning, covering ground, or we can back up and punt. I chose to back up and punt. Let's back down. Some of the fingers and creeks in the area that I was at, the water was roughly about 50 degrees. In that color line, mud line, where it was starting to change, I found bait, I found bass. And I found something they would bite. Some bass were up roaming little cuts and little flats. They were staying close to the bottom. Picked up a couple of good ones. Throwing a critter bait, believe it or not. On a wobblehead. Reaction strike. He'd beating and banging in the rocks, they hunted it down. That worked pretty good. Also found a piece of structure. And remember, fish will always bite a worm. It's the presentation of it. Water's nasty. They're going to be tight to the cover. You got to put it on target. Your accuracy. Pick a dark worm. There's no special color that was, brought down from the heavens. Pick a dark worm. Something contrasting. But your accuracy of your cast, put it on that target. You'll get bit. I did. Instead of riding a struggle bus, which kind of were, I put 4 good fish in the boat. It's the best I could do. Could not find that 5th fish. Couldn't find anywhere to really go look for a fat one. Everybody else had the same idea I did, and the area of the lake I was in was like boats everywhere. And everybody was rotating points and cuts at one point in time, so I guess I ran kind of to, I had the right idea, but the bait wasn't working there. I'm sure other people on other parts of the lake had better results. That's something else to keep in your tool bag. All fish in the lake aren't doing the same thing at the same time, biting the same bait. Don't get that mentality. If you ain't been on a body of water in the past 48 hours, and that's stretching it, you have no clue what's going on at that lake. No clue. The water temperature could have changed. The level could have changed. All these factors make a big difference. If you get up the day before and they're biting a jerk bait and they should be up on the bank and doing all this, and you go tie a bunch of stuff on and you go head into the lake, you might get lucky. That might work. The actual odds are that you've set yourself up for disaster. You've already got the wrong idea and approach. So you're going to start off doing that. It's probably not going to work for you. If you haven't been on that body of water, and this doesn't apply, this is not necessarily just a tournament mentality. It's anything you're going to fish that day. Go there. Get out there on the water. Take a few minutes, look around. What's going on? Colors of water. What's your temperature of your air? What temperature of your water? Well, how much your visibility? What's the barometer doing? Which way's the wind blowing? Factor all that stuff in. Waste your time breaking that lake down on the quick end than going out there thinking that they're going to bite something when they're not, because you don't know. You ain't been there. If an area doesn't work and a bait doesn't work, you can't force feed it. So change. If I hadn't changed, we'd zeroed. But I put my head down and kept fishing. Found bait, found bass, figured out what they'd bite, and exploited that. Barely squeaked in, I think, 10th place. But considering I hadn't been on the lake, it's muddy, nasty, 4 or 5 different shades of water and thicknesses, and I may have went to the wrong part of the lake. But I pulled it off. Not because I'm some sort of super genius, but I didn't I didn't cloud my mind with the presumption of they're going to bite this and the fish are doing this. I'm going to tie these baits on and I'm going to make them bite them. I went to the lake, saw what it was doing, improvised, adapt, and overcame. Now, I wish I could have got that 5th fish. It would probably bump me up a good little ways. Just a decent 3-pounder would have moved me up quite a bit of spots. But it's okay. I'm not a competitive guy. I don't fish tournaments a lot. I like to jump in one every now and then just for giggles. Apply this to your next fishing trip or your next tournament. Get up that morning if you hadn't been there, or actually any day, blank slate. Yeah, they were doing this yesterday. Let's see if they're still doing it today. But if things aren't working and it ain't the same conditions, figure it out. You need to be able to power fish and finesse fish and alternate throughout the day or back and forth as you fish. Some fish up here, some fish down there. That's what I was doing. I wasn't just burning the banks. Find a cut, burn it, see if I get bit. Got bit, okay, next cut, didn't. Piece of structure out here, go back out into the ditch. Yep, there's fish on it. Got bit, didn't get bit. Work your way around like that. For me, it paid off. At least I didn't get skunked. Made a decent showing. I've got a few quick clips of the chocolate milk event, or chocolate milk derby if you want to call it. We had a great time. The ABL guys are cool. They put on a pretty good little tournament. And we'll see you out on the water.